Hi, grade 8 and 9. In this lesson, we're going to look at the multiplication and the division of fraction, but we're going to start with the multiplication. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you are new here, and like all my videos, watch my videos till the end, download, share with your friends and families. Now, let's look at the multiplication. So we have this fraction multiplied by this fraction. So guys, when you multiply a fraction by a fraction, the numerator times by a numerator and the denominator times by a denominator. So it's going to be 3 times 1 and then 5 times 3, which is going to be 3 over 15. And then there's a common factor between the two, which is going to be 3. How many 3's in 1? In 3 is 1. And then there it's 5, so it's going to be 1 over 5. And then let's look at this one. Number 2, we have this fraction, negative fraction, multiplied by this negative fraction. So we have negatives there. We're going to start with the negative. We'll say negative times by a negative is what? Positive. And then a numerator times by a numerator, denominator times by a denominator. So it's going to be 3 times 1 divided by 2 times 7, which is going to be 3 over 14. And then we leave it like that. It's simplified like that. And here we have this integer and multiplied by a fraction. So we're going to make that integer as a fraction first, and then we'll say numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, which is 3 times 4 divided by 1 times 5, which is going to be 12 over 5, and we leave it like that. No common factor there. Now we have this negative fraction multiplied by this positive fraction multiplied by this integer, and then we'll do the same thing here. We'll make this as a fraction by divide by 1, and then we focus with the negative. Now negative times positive is negative, and then negative times positive, it's negative, and then the final answer is negative there. And then we times all the numerators there. But what we can do, we can cancel that. We have 1, and cancel with that 3, we have a 1. And then there's a common factor. 2 is a common factor at 4. How many 2's in 4? There are 2, and there are 1 there. And then we're going to have 1 over 1 times by 7 divided by 2 times by 3 over 1. So we still have a negative there, and this is going to be 1, right? So we're going to be left with that. So it's going to be 7 times 3. Okay, 1 times 7. Okay, let's put it like this. We times all the numerators there. 1 times 7 times 3 divide by 2 times 1 times 2 times 1, and there's still negative there. It's going to be 21 over 2. We'll leave it like that. Okay, now let's go to a division of a fraction. Division of a fraction. We have this fraction divided by this fraction, so we write the first fraction there, so which is 3 over 4, and then we change the division into multiplication, and then we invert this fraction. So it's going to be 8 over 6. 8 over 6, and then if you're looking at this numerator and this denominator, there's a common factor which is 3 there. How many 3's in 6? 2. How many 3's in 3 is 1. And then here there's a common factor between 8 and 4. So which is 4. How many 4's in 8? 2, and 4's 1. So we're going to have 1 over 1 times by 2 over 2, which is going to be 1 times 1, which is going to be what? 1. Right, let's look at this one. We have a mixed fraction and a fraction there, so we're going to change that mixed fraction first. We're going to say 1 times 3 plus 1 divided by 3, and then we're going to change that division into multiplication. It's going to be 4 over 3, and then that is going to be 4 over 3 times 4 over 3. So this is going to be 16 over 9. 16 over 9 there, yeah, which is comes from 4 times 4 and 3 times 3, right? That'll make 16 over 9, and then you leave it like that. We have this positive integer divide by that fraction. So what we're going to do there, we're going to make a fraction there. We'll have 6 over 1. We change the division into multiplication. It's going to be 2 over 1, no, 2 over 3, and it's going to be 6 times 2, 1 times 3. So it's going to be 12 over 3, which is 12 over 3 is what? Is 4. Let's go to this one, the last one. We have this fraction times by this fraction, divide by that. So here we need to look at BODMAS. So we're going to start with the division. So we're going to keep that fraction. We keep that fraction, and then in this division, this fraction, we write it as it is, and then we change the division into multiplication. It's going to be 4 over 10, and then there are common factors here and here, and this one there'll be 1 over 1, and then yeah, that's it. So it's going to be 1 over 5 now times 1 over 1 times this. We can find the common factor there. It's 2. How many 2's there? 2. How many 2's there? 5. So it's going to be 2 over 5, and then with times all the numerator is going to be 1 times 1 times 2, 5 times 1 times 5, which is going to be the 2 over 25, and that's it. I hope you understand.